What is up, y'all? You might notice something a little bit different. Let me hold it like this. I know you probably noticed something a little bit different. You're like, where did his hair go? Well, I got tired of looking like a boy. Got ready to look like a man, you know what I'm saying? So now your boy looking like a man, finna grow the beard out. You know what I'm saying? But for real, I just feel like this suits me more. I don't know. My face type, I feel like low cuts have always suited me more. I'm Nigerian, so I got a real strong jawline. So yeah, I don't know. I like it. Plus I look more like a man until I open my mouth and nah, but I hope y'all have been good. We doing the daily uploads. This is a video that if you're a dude and you're living in the United States, 100% of you need to watch. If you're a dude in general and you're living in the world, 99.9% of y'all need to watch. This is something that every dude either has struggled with in the past, is struggling with right now, or will struggle with in the future. I am talking about fapping. I'm talking about porn. It has taken over society completely to where it is so rare to find a dude that has never seen porn and been introduced to it before, right? So I'm going to make this a whole series, but this is going to be how to stop fapping part 1. That's most likely what I'm going to name it. So how to stop fapping part 1. And you guys, in this video, I'm going to break down the absolute basics, like the first step, the very first step. That's all I'm going to touch on in this video is the first step, the first mindset hack that you need in order to stop fapping and in order to be successful in no-fap. So that number 1 rule is number 1, you have to see it as bad and you have to actually fully and really want to stop. I'll give you guys a personal life example. I wasn't introduced to porn until I was 15 years old because shout out to my older brother, man. That's a second father figure to me, second dad to me. He introduced me to the gym. He got me into business. So basically, almost everything I've done, I've just been following under his footsteps. But he talked to me when I was younger, bro. And he would always tell me, like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Same thing with my mom. She'd be like, look, like, don't do that. She'd be taking extra precaution, putting blockers on my device. I know some of y'all remember them blockers that our parents used to use to block out the bad sites and things like that. But my mom would be doing that, and then my brother would occasionally talk to me about it, and how it messed him up, and that just to never start, never start. So because of that, and because my older brother pouring into me, I got introduced to it much later than a lot of the other kids in my generation. Like some people got introduced to it mad young, like 8, 10. Just so sad, man. But that goes to show you how messed up society is. But I got introduced to it at 15. And it was so bad when I got introduced to it because that's literally when COVID hit. So y'all remember the virus, it hit like 2019, 2020. All you were doing was being locked inside. And all the social media apps were booming because we couldn't go out and see real people. So we were quarantined in the house. And TikTok was booming. The girls were doing all the crazy challenges on there. Instagram was booming. All social media was going crazy. And I felt very isolated. I felt very alone at that point. I couldn't go out. I couldn't see none of my friends. Plus, I was freaking homeschooled at that time. So you already know what came knocking at the door, man. It was pouring. I still remember the first time I did it. Part of me wishes I could go back and just slap myself in the face and be like, don't do it. Because it all starts from curiosity. I was like, I wonder what everybody's been talking about. Like I wonder what this is. I wish I could just be like, bro, you don't need to find out. Forget it. But the curiosity kills the cat, man. I decided to try it. And I had been hooked for like 4 years ever since then. I just recently haven't done it in a long time, and I'm 19 now. But imagine from 15 to 19, and I got boys that started doing that way earlier and have been hooked like ever since, and I have been battling with it ever since for like almost 10 years, a decade, and it's just so sad, man. But I'm saying all this to say, when I didn't fap before I was 15, I knew about fapping, but I chose not to do it because in my mind, it was the weirdest thing ever. In my mind, I was like, why would you watch something on video and then play with, like, what? That's weird. That's weird. And that is the exact mindset that you need to have in order to stop fapping and in order to win at no-fap. Because as long as you tell yourself and you lie to yourself and say, oh, it's okay, it's all good, everybody does it, it's normal. Shut up. Shut up, bro. I'll slap you in the face over the screen. You know you're not supposed to be doing that. Don't you dare lie to yourself. I say this all the time. I say you could lie to me, you could lie to little Timmy over there, but do not lie to yourself. You know this is not normal. Just because every guy is doing it doesn't mean that they're not a weirdo. You guys, you're watching other people get into an intimate act. You're training yourself to be a voyeur. V-O-Y, I think E-U-R. Go look up what that term means. And tell me after researching what that term means that you're not a weirdo for doing that. That I wasn't a weirdo for doing that. You guys, I don't want you to think that I'm attacking you. Whether in this specific video or any other video. I love you guys. But when I'm talking to you, I'm also talking to myself, my prior self. And Wes Watson has a quote. He says, love ain't lies. I love all of you guys. So I could come on the camera and be like, oh, you guys, just try your hardest to stop. It's okay if you don't stop and if you continue jerking it, it's all right. I could do that, but that's not going to lead to change. And love ain't lies, homie. Love ain't lies. So I'm going to come on here and I'm going to tell you, you're being a voyeur, you're being weird, you're lowering your testosterone. Every single time that you do the act, you end up feeling in shame. Look up the emotional frequency chart. The second to the bottom worst thing to feel ever is guilt. The very bottom of the worst emotions you could ever feel that will cripple you and tear you apart is shame. And every time you participate in this act, your head is low, you feel bad, and you have the post-nut clarity. You're like, bro, why did I do this? You feel bad about yourself. So me verbally smacking you in the face through the video is out of love. It's because I don't want you to keep feeling ashamed. I want you to be at the top of the emotional frequency chart and to be the best version of yourself. And like Wes Watson says, to give that person to the world. I love you guys. So I'm not going to lie to you. I love myself. I love the younger version of myself who was just ignorant and who fell into this and who was curious. I love him, but I'm not going to lie to him because love ain't lies. So you guys, the introduction to this series, step 1, part 1 of getting over porn and getting over sexual addiction in general is denormalizing it and being pissed at yourself for doing it in the first place. You should be extremely angry at yourself for doing it in the first place. Now, I'm not saying self-sabotage and harm yourself. I'm saying it should make you upset what you've been participating in. So if you want a drastic change, you're going to have to put drastic input in. But I'm going to touch on that in the other videos. Right now, the very first step, the number one thing that I want you to know is that this isn't normal. This is not what guys do. This is not just a part of growing up as a man. You know what we do. Shut up, man. Don't be a weakling, a sissy. Be a man. You think your ancestors that were fighting in wars hundreds of years ago and were actually strong, masculine men and had crazy high testosterones were over here? No, they weren't. So be a man and don't lie to yourself. Love ain't lies. This is wrong. Denormalize it. That is the first step towards change, towards winning in no-fap, and towards never, ever jerking off or fapping again. I love you guys so much. Keep putting in that work, and we'll see you on the next one. Mwah. You sus, bro. You sus. Stop kissing me.